Hey guys, Roz here, New Old Finds. I'm going to show you how to do my Barnwood finish. And this is going to be the darker version of it, and I'll do another video on how to do the lighter version. But for right now, this is the dark version. So I'm going to start. All right, so right now, I started off with just a plain piece of unfinished wood on this side. This is actually, I don't know if you can tell what it is, but it's actually a jeepers, my brain fart, a leaf to a dining room table. And these are really awesome to get cheap or free. Most of the time free, because people leave them behind or whatever, and you can usually find them at the thrift stores and stuff cheap, or at garage sales for free. Most people don't want to keep them if they don't have the table anymore, so they don't know what to do with them. But these make awesome signs, so that's what I'm actually going to make. And you could just, pull the dowels out real easy, just pop them right out, or cut them off, whatever's easier. But they make awesome signs, and so that's what I'm going to do. But this is to show you how to, on a long piece, how to do the Barnwood finish that I've done on my pieces. All right, so you want to have your paintbrush, and you're basically dry brushing. So you want to make sure that you're taking your paper towel and you are, dabbing off your paint. So you don't need a lot on there. You don't want a lot on there. I've actually used this for something else, so it's a little dry on the ends because it's just my cheapy brush. I don't care. All right, so this here is the Java Gel stain from General Finishes. Okay, so it's like a dark brown base, which is what I want. Normally I use dark chocolate paint, but I don't have any. I ran out, so I substituted for Java Gel stain, but it works just as fine. And you just have to, wait for it to dry, and then you can paint over it, no problem. Okay, so basically, I'm taking my two colors. My two colors I have are Dixie Belle Drop Cloth and Dixie Belle Driftwood. So one's a cream color and one's a gray, like a light gray. And that's them here. This is the Driftwood and this is the Drop Cloth. You can use any paint colors, any paint brands, doesn't matter. But to get this finish, you want a light medium gray and a cream or white, whichever, it doesn't matter. It's gonna basically give you the same effect. All right, and so then you just want to, dab, dab, dab. You don't want a lot. Wipe off any excess. All right, dab on your paper towel. And then very gently, you're going to want to just basically lay your brush over top and just run it across. Now you're going to be building layers, so you don't need to worry that if it's, oh, I can't really see it. What are you talking about, Roz? That looks stupid. Don't worry, just keep going. Just keep covering the whole thing. Very gently, you're going to build your layers. So don't worry. I don't know if you can start to see what it looks like. It just gives it that kind of worn look already. All right, and when you see it's not really doing as much, just flip your brush back over, and then you should be able to continue on. Does not have to be perfect. You're going to be blending all of this together. Just continue on. Don't panic, I promise. It's gonna look awesome. It might look stupid now, but it won't when you're done. All right, now you go again. A little more pressure because now you have less paint. And you're just going to continue doing this over and over, back and forth. And you want to go from one end to the other. And when you get to the middle, you can push down just a little bit. So blend, push, blend, push. Blend, push. And that way you don't end up with like this dip in the middle of nothing, right? So blend, push. That gives you that evenness you want. If you see that you have a gap where it looks like some paint isn't going in it, just go fill it in. It's all good. You'll get the hang of it. The more you do it, the more you'll get the hang of it. And the really cool thing about this is every time you do it, it looks different. It always looks different. It's the coolest thing ever. You always end up with like a totally different design, totally different look. And it also depends on what your base color is too. But for this, it's going to be the dark. Now, see, I got a big blob in the middle there. Don't worry about it, because it's all going to get covered up. And this, I don't know if you can see it. The pattern in the wood, the way they cut it, it's got like this wave. It's really neat. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? It's pretty cool. Anyway, okay, now I'm going to move on to my next color, which is the gray. And you're just going to do the exact same thing. Dab, dab, dab. You can mix on your brush. It's perfectly fine. All right, same thing. It doesn't matter if you get some dark. You can blend that in. Back and forth. Back and forth. See, I want a little more gray on top, so I'm going to do more gray than the blue. I mean, blue. Than the drop cloth, the creamy color. Blue. What in the world? I don't know where I got blue from. That's funny. All right, more gray. I want to get some down the middle here. And you just keep on blending, keep on blending. Just go back and forth, back and forth. You can adjust your, how hard you're pushing. You can see I'm pushing pretty hard now, and I'm opening up my bristles on my brush. See how wide that is? And that's gonna get all the paint that's still hiding in your brush out, which is good because it's not a lot, right? So, all right. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time with the gray. A little heavier this time. Try and fill in a lot of this over here. All right. Going. Okay. Over here. Alright, get a dark one over here. So I'm barely putting any paint on here now. Just want to get some little lines going in there, some little thicker spots, because you know barnwood is never even. Always got variations. Same with like driftwood, you know, same principle. Has variations in the wood where it's been sitting or, you know, whatever, right? Okay, put it on the edges. Little tower over there. All right, let's try and go through the middle here. All right, because this is not going to stay looking like this, guys. There's one other step. Okay. Let's mix them together and see what we get. Okay. See, this is the fun of it. You just keep on blending until you like the way it looks. It could take you a couple minutes. It could take you 20 minutes. It could take you an hour. It all just depends on what you want it to look like. I need mine to be pretty light because I'm putting, since I'm making it a sign, I'm going to be putting words over top. So I'm going to add quite a bit more of the drop cloth here. So hopefully this is not a super long boring video for y'all to watch. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I could have time-lapsed this, but I wanted to explain as much as I could. So I hope you don't mind. Don't worry about getting those lines there because you can blend them easily out. All right, a little bit more up here. Still doing your dry brushing. You're not loading your paintbrush up or anything. You may get the odd, you know, like that, but that's fine. That's perfect. I like that because it gives you different variations, especially when you do your final little extra coat thing that I'm going to show you in just a minute. All right, I think we're about where I want it to be. What you think? It's looking pretty good, right? I think so. I think that looks Barnwoody. I think so. I'll just blend this out a little more. Don't want my lines. Okay. Alrighty, now comes the fun. All right, so for this, you need a glove. All right, and you need Minwax wood penetrating stain dark walnut. This is my favorite color to use. All right, and then you just get a little bit on your paper towel, and then you start wiping it on. Yes, you can do stain over stain, you can do paint over stain, and you can do stain over paint. It's perfectly fine. All right. Because this is going to soak into your paint, right? This is what you want. You want it to soak into your paint. You want it to give it dimension. And it's going to give you that color that you want. Of that aged, old wood. And where your paint is darker, that's where you're going to get all your different variations to make it look old, make it look older, like it's been sitting out for a long time. So long strokes, back and forth from one end to the other. Sometimes it'll pull up a little of your paint, but that's okay too, because that gives you more variation. It's a good look too. Don't worry about that at all. It's not doing it to me today, so that's cool. Fine, can't show you it because it's not doing it to me. All right, get a little bit more. Wipey, wipey, side to side. Get your little edges. All right. Ooh, dark down the middle there. See, you just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. Looks awesome. All right. So now I've got my stain on there, and I'm going to get another paper towel and just go over it and make sure all my excess is off, which also helps for it to dry quicker. Because I don't need a lot on the edges. Oh, see, it's pulling some off here. Love it. It's almost like a relief, right? Like a relief effect when it pulls the paint off, because it gives you the stain from the Java Gel showing through underneath. So it gives you that aged feeling. Let's see if I can do it here, yeah. Yeah, see it pulling it through there. That's awesome. Love it. And the only reason it's pulling it off is because it's wet, right? Wet stain on wet paint on something that's dry. All right. I love that. I think that looks really great. And that's gonna look really cool when I think I'm gonna put Gather across that. It's gonna look cool. All right, I'm gonna hold it up for you so you can see different viewpoint, my viewpoint, not the viewpoint from the camera. Can you see? I'll hold it back as much as I can so you can see as much of it as you can. That looks pretty cool. And that's basically all it is. And you can continue to do it as much as you want or as little as you want. If you don't want it as choppy, just make sure your lines go side to side each time. But I like the way this looks. It looks really worn, which is what I wanted for my sign, right? If you're doing it on a top of a piece or something, you know, just go side to side each time. Just keep building it up, building it up, building it up. It'll look really awesome. And then when you're finished with this and it's dry, then you can do your clear coat, Dixie Belle clear coat in satin, or gator hide if you prefer, or polyacrylic Minwax, or whatever your favorite top coat is. And that'll be it. And I will show you the sign when I'm finished. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Hey again. All right, so I went a completely different direction. I was gonna do a total farmhouse sign with this one, but I ended up doing something totally different. I had the transfer sitting there and I was like, oh, that would look so pretty. So I combined the two transfers on it instead, and I added some stencils and some wax. It's really pretty. Anyway, I'm gonna post the pictures now, but I just wanted to let you know things change. Bye.